I'm in shock. I really am in shock. This is probably going to be a 2-part video. Let's call this part 1. I just listened to the school committee meeting, and a school committee, for the most part, I don't get involved in the politics of it or any of that. But it was brought to my attention that Karen Mercer, hey Karen, stood before the council and she had something to say. Karen, you probably don't know me, but you know the name. You've probably seen me speaking at the city council meetings. Karen, come on. Are we really doing this? Are you really doing this? I mean, everybody's talking about, shiny building and everything. How about necessities? How about the things that the children need in order to learn? You cried when you left Slater. That's sad. That's sad, right? It was probably very emotional. It might be to the same level of emotion that my mother had when she worked for the school department, right? Going into homes, back in the day, they called it Crook Manor. Now it's Gallagher Court. My mother was going into homes at Gallagher Court. My mother was going into homes at Prospect Heights. My mother, you want to talk about sad? My mother had been in more homes that their utilities were being shut off while she was sitting there trying to teach a child. So our community, and I get it, you love your kids at Slater. But did you know your kids at Slater? Do you really get to know them? Did you know that I heard a story, and it wasn't that long ago, that there was a child that wanted to play a certain sport event, a certain sport for some event or something. I don't know. I can get the particulars, Karen. But the child couldn't play because they didn't have sneakers. But the bigger part was they didn't have socks. They didn't have socks, Karen. Those kids that you love over at Slater. It was at Slater. So, do we not want better for our kids that are going to grow up? And they'll probably, I think that the statistics will be that these children will stay in Pawtucket, right? I don't even really, like I said, I don't get into the politics of it. I think that, these buildings are just not conducive for learning. And especially in the poorer areas, it seems like they're being neglected. Come on, let's be real, right? I know we're going to say there's a new Baldwin. We're going to say that they did this and they did that, right? But I actually have pictures of the bathrooms at Slater. And this was probably 7 years ago. I imagine they haven't improved because they haven't done any improvements. So anyway, Karen, you were going to get yourself a sandwich and you saw the kids and you waved at them. Huh. Oh, and you served some food on Thanksgiving. Did you know that there are 365 days in the year? So that turkey dinner that these children were served didn't sustain them till the next year that a turkey dinner was served. And let's get back to my mother in that trailer behind Agnes Little and going out and servicing the children. bags upon bags upon bags of, and the bags weren't supplied. They were cloth bags. They were big bags. They were every kind of bag that you could imagine, because they were not, you were to bring these things to the homes, but you weren't supplied anything to carry these things into the homes. So my mother would, constantly be having my aunt sew bags to make sure that what she was bringing into the home could stay in the bag, to be carried up to possibly a third floor. Then on lunch, my mother wasn't going to Pawtucket House or anything to get herself a sandwich. No, you know what my mother was doing? You know those bags I just told you about? My mother also had those bags for when she would go shopping on Friday for our family. She also would separate the food that she was bringing to the children. And she would write a little note. Need to pick up half gallon of milk. Need to pick up juice. Need to pick up, anything that needed to be refrigerated. So that she would know the night before, hey, I need to pick up a half gallon of milk for this house. Oh, this one didn't have any juice. Oh, I got to pack that in the bag of the cereal, the bread, the peanut butter. We didn't eat a lot of peanut butter. My mother always picked up 2. My mother always had supplies, because not only was she bringing up these items to the families to teach the children, she also brought food. Now, mind you, Karen, going into people's homes, you get a real good snapshot of what the dynamics are in the home, right? When my mother is sitting at someone's kitchen table and there are cockroaches running around, you try to make the best of it. You try to make that child's life a little bit brighter. And my mother did that. Every day she worked for the school department. So I'm not new to this community. A lot of the children that my mother serviced were honor roll students. They ended up to be honor roll students. Christmas cards. Every year, there had to have been 50 to 70 that would send a picture of their kid as they were progressing through school. And my mother always clipped the honor rolls. And she would sit and reminisce about her activities, her lesson planning, and everything with the children. And the other thing, Karen, I know you love your students. I know. I mean, most teachers do. But I'm going to bring you back to when I stood before the council. Your husband sat in a seat, and I stood there and I begged for them to do something about Daniel Dolan. Do you know Daniel Dolan, Karen? Did you know that there was a small child screaming while Daniel Dolan beat his dad? And that small child was yelling, he can't breathe. Did you see that video, Karen? I find it funny that you're going to the defense of your husband, oh, nobody needs a shiny school and all this stuff. I think that the quote was $1.1 million to fix the problems over at Slater. I mean, just do the bare minimum, I'm sure. Do you know how much the lawsuit is for Daniel Dolan shooting Dominic Vincent? Do you know? Did you know that actual meeting was taped? It's on YouTube. If you need a reference to it, if you need a reference to see if I actually brought Daniel Dolan to the committee and said, we got to do something. Look at what he's doing. Did you know that, Karen? Did you ever see that? Because I can forward it to you, Karen. Your husband didn't care about that. And maybe that man that was beat, maybe you had him in school in Slater. You know, the ones that you cared about? Or Emily? The other one? Another lawsuit? So we're worried about $1.1 million to give all those students basically the bare minimum. But there's a $4 million lawsuit. For the Daniel Dolan situation. And Michael Marrera, I believe that his was settled, probably on the side. I think Emily's lawsuit is still out there. Your husband didn't pay attention to that. And we haven't even gotten to the best part, Karen. We have not even gotten to the best part of my conversation with your husband. I know. I think that, one of your things was you were infuriated. You were hurt. You have no idea, sweetheart. You have no idea. So I know. You must live by these words. Like, is it kind? Teachable moments. Is what's going to come out of your mouth helpful? Is it truthful? Is it truthful, Karen? I think that your husband had said that he didn't know who Daniel Dolan was. I stood before the council. How could he forget? But I think that you did know Daniel Dolan. I think your family did. Does. Maybe you have lunch with him. I don't know. But when you put yourself out there and, you want to talk about your hurt and you're sad and you cry and you do all this kind of stuff, right? What part of this really affects you? I don't know. Suck it up, Buttercup. I got more to say. That includes your husband.